there is no ASMR. It's just ASS. That's all you get when you come this way without a single R, dude. Like, it's just nice try, A for effort, but like
that's what I thought
on the Masspole spot. I just don't have it. I can't do it. I got no BB, no ASMR. I got nothing. I got 1, 2, 3. That's all I got. That's what I do.
Well, we'll leave it up.
Can you hear me on this one?
I can hear you on that one, yeah.
Switch to this one then.
All right, let's try this. All right, buddy. We're gonna do a quick switch.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to grab.
That's a big yell of it. I'm my close up, Mr. Yager.
Now we've got to figure out how to get all of us in the picture.
We'll just have to.
The same ball as like the canister company, right?
Well, and you know and you know like what the commentators call it, right? The ball arena. We call it the sack.
Get the hell out of here! No,
I swear to God, we call it the sack. I swear to God.
All right, I'm done.
That's it. Yeah. End the show, Johnny. Go raid somebody. We're good.
I
On aircraft last week.
I'm glad. I was gonna say I'm glad Coastal gave that lady his 2 inches worth. I mean 2 cents worth. I'm sorry.
You got Marky bad. I love it. No, that lady, like, she wasn't even discreet about it. No, you can ask John. She like literally leaned over John's shoulder and looked at my phone.
The sweet look of victory on my face.
Yeah. Mine's tomorrow night, maybe. It's the Raiders. Probably not going to happen.
What is going on, everybody?
Cowboys might not win another game this season.
Nah, they will. They should beat the Raiders tomorrow.
Yeah. You guys better beat the Raiders.
We're 3.5 point favorite. That's it.
Okay. Well, we were 3.5 point underdogs today. Look at that.
Yeah, but if you pay the refs more money, that's what happens. You just got to outspend KC. That's all you got to do.
Oh, come on.
There it is. There it is.
We still had like 15 penalties called on us.
I know.
Queen Band Youth Kaja. Yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce that name. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Dudes and Bells Recharge here on Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. I am your host, Johnny Deathdrop, and we got ourselves a show for you guys today. Let me tell you something. A lot happening on this episode. Before we get into everything, let's introduce the panel, of course. On the left, he is the one that lives way up there on the east coast of Maine. He is none other than the Coastal Crusader.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. It's football Sunday. It's wrestling Sunday. It's an R&P Sunday. It's what we do. Happy to be here.
And on the right, obviously smiling from ear to ear, he is your resident encyclopedia of Rocky Mountain Pro. He is also your commentator on Charge, and also part-time CMS journalist as of right now. He is none other than Lucas Bradwell.
What is going on, everybody? This is quite a show. I've been looking forward to this all week. Knew that you guys were going to love SuperCharged. I know Coastal's got a lot to say. I know Johnny Deathdrop's going to have a bunch to talk about. And then we got a very special guest that we got a lot of major questions to ask. So, yeah, jam-packed episode, guys. So buckle up, because here we go.
All right. And since we have so much to talk about during this episode, let's just get right into it, shall we? Start off with the opening match of SuperCharged that just went aired to the public last Monday. Was it Monday or Tuesday that it went live?
I think we went Tuesday. I think we did. We did it right in front of Ignition. So you got SuperCharged and then Ignition immediately after.
All right, so it just went public last Tuesday, so everybody should know what happened at Supercharged for the most part. We're gonna review it for you. Starting off with the opening contest on the card, we had the Ignition Championship up for grabs as it was Two Dame going up against member of the law office, Dylan Anderson.
Yeah, I thought this was Two Dame's real first big test. Like you're at you're in a pay-per-view style event. You're a champion. You're defending. You're going up against a former champion in Dylan Anderson. And for the most part, I absolutely think Two Dame delivered. He looked great. I thought he was going to win this match on a couple of occasions, and he probably could have if Preston kept his dang nose out of everything. This was the first to come what we thought was going to be more office, more law office shenanigans all night. We soon find out that those won't be happening much anymore, but we'll get into that. That has to do with our buddy Two Dame. Two Dame loses the belt here, Lucas. I don't think it hurts him. I mean, take away what we know is going to happen later on when he gets particular phone calls. But I still don't think this really hinders him. Like, it's good you got a taste of some title now. Maybe you move up. Maybe you go after, Kate and Koyam. Maybe you go after a different singles championship at this point.
Yeah, this is only the beginning for Two Dame. He's going to be a major player. Obviously, this was a great experience for him to be Ignition champion, right? He did have some big tests, but not like this on a pay-per-view stage. You absolutely made that point. But Dylan Anderson is a dangerous man. We know how he was as a two-time NRW champion. Obviously, no surprise that Preston gets involved. That's almost like just a automatic given. You know that it's somehow, some way he's going to interject himself when it comes to any law office matches. So, Two Dame has nothing to be ashamed of. He can hold his head up high because he will have some other opportunities, no doubt about it. And don't forget, he's still part of a tag team as well. Him and Southside. I could be, if Southside starts being a little more reliable, they could be a very formidable tag team in the tag team division. That's getting very competitive right now. So, yeah, overall, Two Dame, this wasn't a great way to start things out on Supercharged, but I think in a way the night ended up okay for him, as we're going to talk about here coming up. He still made a major impact on Supercharged. So, yeah, all in all, not a horrible night for Two Dame.
All right, I'm gonna need one of you guys to help me out with this name because I am definitely gonna butcher this name, and this name does not deserve to be butchered because he just became a member over on YouTube.
It's Kong Nin, I think. Nin.
I think it's Win. I think that's Win.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Win. I always forget how they. Yeah, I think you're right. Nong Win.
Thank you for becoming a member. All right. We're all done with the Ignition Championship. Let's move over to another title, the Locust Championship. We had Itzel Estrada going up against your reigning champion, Punkin Morgan.
I got to give Lucas massive credit on this one. He was surprised on commentary because Lola comes out and just starts spewing the most unbelievable garbage. I mean, I understand Punkin is in the ring. Garbage is abundant, but like this was just straight the disputed,
yes, not undisputed, disputed,
not undisputed, disputed. No, that's not. I don't. I think Preston's law book says like law for dummies, and he's got it mixed up with some other parts in there because that can't. A disputed title isn't a thing. What's not disputed though is Punkin really came prepared. She looked ready. She gets in the ring with Itzel. Itzel is one of those people you never know what to expect. Great striker. Itzel's striking really surprises me. She gets a lot behind her kicks, a lot behind her strikes. But, Punkin Morgan, Lucas was just ready. Like, she was ready for this first defense. And I think she's going to have Lola staring her down yet again because Lola feels entitled.
Well, she always does. She feels that she should have like a lifetime,
Number one
just a
contendership.
lifetime number
Lifetime.
one contendership. She should always have that title at all times, no matter even if she actually loses it. She doesn't feel she loses it. Yeah, it's absolute ridiculousness coming from the law office, coming from Preston, you know, and sometimes I think he just makes up stuff just to make uh, people like Lola and uh, all his other stable members, make them all feel comfortable because they all have, you know, for being such a bunch of tough people, they are the most
Supposedly.
sensitive. Yeah, for being the most sensitive and soft. They cannot take any kind of criticism. They can't take any kind of you know, challenge or anything. They're just all soft, and I can't believe it.
Well,
You know,
let's face it, Lucas. When they sleep on Preston sleeps on a mattress full of their money. When they're successful, he gets money, and they sleep on a mattress full of Preston's lies.
yeah, that's true. Um, but I will say, that, speaking about the match itself, you made a good point about Punkin. Punkin kind of made a little bit of a statement here. It wasn't, you know, a lot of shenanigans with her, you know, and her, sure, her hygiene and all that stuff's always going to play somewhat of a role.
Not
But
as
she
much in this
utilized,
match, though.
no, you're absolutely right. She stuck to wrestling, and when she does that, I think she proves that she can go in the ring. You know, she was because Itzel. You're right. Itzel's a great striker, but Itzel is also very accomplished when it comes to just you know, technical wrestling. You know, her wrestling is very sound, very fundamentally sound wrestler is Itzel, and I will say though, Punkin was able to out wrestle her in this match, and in the end, kind of a power move with that trash compactor, that package pile driver, and that nailed her. That was it. Um, you know, I gotta apologize to everyone. What I was busy trying to keep Lola kind of, you know, at least somewhat on track. That I, you know, probably didn't give my best calling this match, but you know, I still I feel that Punkin was the better wrestler here on this particular match,
I mean,
and that's why she ended up winning.
it's hard for you to concentrate on calling a match when you have somebody making up lyrics and vocabulary throughout the course of the match
Yeah,
as well.
making up new statuses for titles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just don't. It's either you're undisputed or you're not the champion. It's one or the other. You know, they're disputed.
I just don't. I mean, okay. I can kind of understand where she's coming from. She did get put into a trash can. Wasn't a coffin. I understand that part. But technically, trash cans can be coffins. Just,
How many dead bodies do you hear about getting thrown into a dumpster? Or
just
a
go,
trash can?
just go to downtown New York City, man. I guarantee you, there's a few of them in there every year. So,
Yes.
yeah, we do have a comment that I guess I should probably address. You know, I've been holding off being concerned, but I don't like to prod. But I'm wondering when Marky's coming back. He's been MIA the last few weeks. That's right, I did not address this at all. He has taken an extended leave of absence. I don't know when he's coming back. That's all I can say. Other than that, we press on to some more matters, which was supposed to be actually a Charged Championship match between Cookie Wright and Kaden Koyama, but Kaden ends up getting jumped in the back. Obviously, we kind of knew who was behind that assault. And this is when Two Dame checks in, and apparently is now the interim law enforcement of Rocky Mountain Pro. Was on the phone with D'Lo though, so D'Lo was making the final decisions, and Two Dame had to be there to announce it.
He's the IVF, the interim voice.
Yes, the IVF.
Figurehead.
And so we ended up, instead of Cookie Wright competing for the championship, actually not getting a chance at all, and as a matter of fact, not even in the match itself. We ended up with a number one contenders match because of it, and it was between Draper and a Type 1 Warrior, a rematch of Shocktober.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Yeah, this I believe we've only seen Type 1 Warrior in a handful of matches, man, but Type 1 Warrior is showing that this kid it could be a potential problem for a lot of the veterans in Rocky Mountain Pro. He is a tough guy for being, you know, a lot smaller than Dak Draper. He took the fight to Draper in this one, knew there was something in stake. Now he didn't get the win. Draper obviously too much. You know, he's too much. The resume, the experience, the size, there's just too much stacked up for Type 1 Warrior. But considering everything that he had going against him, I think Type 1 Warrior put on a hell of an effort in this matchup. Now you think about it, now that Draper is the number one contender to the Charged Championship, is this the most trouble that Caden Koyama will have ever at Coastal? With, you know, think about this great title run.
Yeah, and part of this title run was, if you remember right, he beat Draper in a match, you know, a couple months back. This is troublesome because the one thing that Caden has been doing really good lately is keeping himself out of bad situations, be it backstage, be it in the ring. That guy caught up to him. The law office jumped him. That's what I think happened. I think that's what everybody thinks happened. And now he's, you know, he's not 100%. And Type 1 Warrior put on a great effort in that match. He went, like you said, he stood right up to Draper, but there is a different bell in their head, guys like Draper have, that when there is a title shot on the line or titles on the line or something more than just a win, they flip that switch, ring that bell, and you're just not beating them. Like, from the moment you knew it was a number one contenders match, I was like, this swings that pendulum really a lot into Draper's favor because he's been there. He knows what it takes. He knows what it takes to get a title shot. But yeah, I think now that he has it and Koyama's not 100%, that's going to be very hard for Caden because it was hard enough to beat him at 100%. Now you're not. And he knows that.
All right. What's up, Riley303? How you doing over there on Twitch? All right, we can move on here. Lucas.
Yes. Yeah.
You must have been ecstatic to find out the stipulation of this match.
You know, in a weird way, I kind of even take a little bit of responsibility for, because I'm the one who came up with the Chia Pet nickname. I'm putting it out there. I'm the first one to have ever called him Chia Pet, and that thing has taken off. It took off like a, you know, it's been a champ. You know, when he gets to the ring, you got the Rascals calling him a Chia Pet, and Cookie Wright trying to cover his ears, and you know that hair of his, I guess that's what you can call it, the mop on top of his head there.
Looks like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors. I expect to be like, feed me, Cookie.
Yeah, exactly. The thing has a life of its own, and yeah, you know, whoever's call this was, and if you guys didn't catch after the end credits, there was a Marvel like end credit at the end of the SuperCharged. If you guys, you know, turned it off and didn't
Easter
see
egg.
that, yeah, go back and see the little Easter egg at the end. We get clarification that didn't come from D'Lo.
Well,
But,
okay, actually, hold up. You know what? We might as well right now. We might as well real quick.
You're gonna go ahead and pull it up?
I'm gonna pull it up.
I think it's worth it. I think a lot of people may have missed it.
Yeah, because it was a Marvel like Easter egg that we put at the end of the credits, so everyone, you know, probably assumed the show was over. The credits had already went off. And, you know,
Just getting into that though, the show looked great. Like production, It was clear. It was great. Like,
Yeah, that production team is on point. I could tell you we are getting very uh, a very specific format. The commentary team, we know exactly what's going on every single moment. What package we're going to, how long, what exactly we're supposed to be talking about. So yeah, they're doing an amazing job. These pay-per-views have gotten better and better, I believe, from a production standpoint, each and every time.
All right.
"Are you two's up?"
So the twos
There
are
it is. So, yeah, so this was right after the credits. The credits had just went off. Everyone assumes that the show's over, and we get this.
Thank you, LF Pro Wrestling. 62 months.
Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, D-Lo, A player. SuperCharged was amazing tonight. You made me the interim voice of the figurehead. So I was like you tonight, D-Lo. I was like you, man. It was awesome. It was awesome. Oh, what's good, Mercury?
What's up, man?
Just on the phone with D-Lo. He says what's up.
Hey, what's up, dude? D-Lo, nice job. That stipulation was awesome, man.
Hold on, D-Lo. One of my dames calling. Okay.
Hold on, I don't.
What stipulation? Hold on.
The stipulation D-Lo told you to make for the NRW match, you know, the hair versus title thing? Yeah, since he put you in charge, I just assumed he told you that.
Play go be honest, man. I did that. You know, I went ahead and made that happen. It's like D-Lo tonight. The loss. Hell yeah. See, Gotta call D-Lo back.
Gotta love Too Damn. Gotta love it.
I love Yang's reaction though when he's just like looking at him, just like, like
yeah.
you did, didn't you?
Well, in case D'Lo's gone again, I mean, now Gaten can now kind of rest easy knowing that Two Dame can actually take over if needed. So.
Oh yeah.
You know, Two Dame's not an oracle yet, but you know, maybe he's got the sight. Who knows?
All right, NRW Championship match, hair versus title. Eric the Reyes Chia Pet, which was announced by the ring announcer, by the way. I don't know if you guys missed that one as well.
I might be a few dollars lighter. Might have had to bribe Sonny to get him to do that, but it was well worth it.
Going up against Johnny Casanova, your reigning NRW champion.
Lucas, I'll let you take it because this had to just make me happy.
Oh yeah. Well, you could hear me during commentary. I was giddy. I was giddy about this. This was awesome. And you know what was cool about this is, you know, most NRW championships have, you know, this obviously was the stipulation, hair versus title, but as far as the match itself, it was a straight up wrestling match, and we got to see the wrestling skill of both Johnny Casanova and Eric Reyes, and it was on display. Overall, this was an excellent wrestling match. You know, these two, a little bit of contrast in styles. Johnny likes to keep things a little more kind of slowed down, a little grounded. Eric Reyes, a little more fast paced, but he's got tremendous striking ability that he's got. That's the one thing you always have to watch when you're with Eric Reyes. So we got all that. These two went back and forth. Obviously, the leg was once again an issue for Casanova. You could tell he was a few times that came into play during this matchup. Eric Reyes was targeting it, but in the end, man, it was a little bit of a surprise. You got Reyes using Johnny Casanova's own neck breaker, that Summer Breeze, and I thought that was going to be it, but somehow Casanova able to get out and then able to get him up for the Sweetest Taboo, that brain buster, and that was it. And that was the end of Eric Reyes, and it was going to the barber shop, Johnny Casanova's barber shop. It was a great, those clippers didn't seem like they were working all that well. I mean, Casanova really had to grind in there. And we didn't get to see the finished product as Reyes was trying to get away. We understand that they were able to catch up to him in the back, and it continued. But I still didn't get to see the finished product, so we had to wait until Charged, and but overall, it was a tremendous night for me watching the Chia Pet finally get what was coming to him all this time of bad mouthing us here on the Dudes and Belts and bad mouthing the RMP Rascals. He finally gets his just dessert there, Coastal.
Yeah, for two guys, him and Cookie, that talked a lot of garbage for many months while they were champions about how they ran the place and cease and desist was the next thing. They didn't have very good Supercharged. I think they left.
Well, they walked out with some gold.
Yeah, but not Cookie and Eric.
No.
I mean, Cookie didn't even get to wrestle. Eric now is going to be a lot colder come wintertime because he doesn't have the insulation on his head. The one thing I worry about, Lucas, with this is these are the type of people that when you wrong them or when they feel like they've been wronged, even though they deserved everything they got, they come back dirtier, I guess you would say. They find even more corrupt ways to win. They're willing to take even more chances because I think in some weird way, they very much enjoy making us mad when they win. And I think for them, that's almost as good as being champion. But that's kind of where I'm at, Lucas. Like for the night the law office had in total, what does Preston have as, I guess, retaliatory fire, if you will, towards RMP?
That's what I'm worried about. We know, I mean, we've seen every time we think that the law office is finally getting what's coming to them and they do a little bit, boy, Preston comes out with guns a-blazing. He has a plan so yeah, it's going to be a little bit scary to see what they have in store. I think the only consolation right now is they've already pissed off a very angry weapon in Damon Ace, and he's not done with them yet. So they've got to worry about that, and that'll keep them occupied for sure. So I'm not too worried right now about what they may or may not do. But yeah, you can guarantee they're going to have some kind of retaliation somehow. But for right now, we're just going to celebrate in their misery because
if you saw what happened on Charge this past Wednesday, I mean, I think you started to see the I guess you could say the outer rim of what Damon Ace could possibly do to you.
Yeah.
So.
And we also saw what cease and desist were trying to do. They tried to get a little payback on Charged, and if everything works out the way it's supposed to, we won't see them till no Thanksgiving.
Yeah, 3 weeks, I do believe.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's move on. We had a 1-on-1 contest here between Bryce 5 and Stanley Logan. It was supposed to be Anaya, but of course, Anaya doing Anaya things at this point. I think that's what we're going to call it from now on. Anaya doing Anaya things. And we ended up instead with a match with Bryce 5 and Stanley Logan.
Yeah, I mean, when Stanley Logan figures out he doesn't have to ride with anybody else anymore and he kind of just goes for his own, I think he's going to be very, very successful. The reason I say that is that he's got everything. He's got the attitude. He's got the work ethic. He has the in-ring talent. He is a complete wrestler. He just needs some breaks. And the problem is when he tries to get those, he aligns himself with people that don't put him in the best positions. I'm not saying Anaya didn't because obviously, he got to win. But Anaya kind of used him. And I'm sick of people using Stanley Logan because Stanley Logan could very well be a very dominant champion in this company if he was able to get those shots. Like, I know he's gone against Damon when Damon was the champion before, but I mean, an extended period of he just kind of pops in, takes his shot. I mean, I really think he's just got to, if he's a breakaway, Lucas, I really think Stanley Logan is one breakaway from really taking off.
Well, and this win at Supercharged may be a little jumping off point, possibly, because Bryce Fite was another kid that we've talked about as being a potential breakout star, right? I mean, this kid is, well, his nickname is Electricity Personified, and he certainly lives up to that. He's one of the most exciting wrestlers we have. Every time he's in a match, it's must see TV, and the fact that Stanley Logan was able to overcome that athleticism and able to overcome everything that Bryce Fite brings to a match, and able to get a victory, even though Anaya basically suckered him into this match. He used them, as you say. He still was able to get a very big victory, and that could go a long way in his career, especially here in Rocky Mountain Pro. Yeah, you're right. I think he needs to stay away from guys like Enrique Calderon, the prosecutor, Jack McCready, whoever it is, and just be on his own and do his own thing. I think you're absolutely right. Stanley Logan is a guy that you need to keep your eye on, because if he is completely focused, he could be a major player in the Charge Championship conversation, maybe even the NRW Championship conversation. I could see, with his attitude and his aggressiveness, he could make a pretty darn good NRW champion.
All right, speaking of the prosecutor, our next contest on Supercharged was Remy D going up against the prosecutor. You saw the feud going into this match over the past few charges, and it leads to a last man standing match here. And not only did Remy D conquer the prosecutor, but we finally got some closure after all these months and months of the prosecutor showing up and leaving, showing up and leaving. We find out who exactly the prosecutor is, and that is one Jack McCready. And I'm sure we'll be talking to him a little bit more about that in about 20 minutes or so from now. But as far as this match is concerned, what are your thoughts on this last man standing match?
And this is kind of starting to become Remy's thing. You piss Remy off to a point, he is going to be like, okay, gloves off. I'm just going to beat the heck out of you till you can't get up. Because we've seen Remy in these type of matches before, these no hold bars matches, falls count anywhere. This one, a last man standing. The viciousness that Remy brings to a match like that, you can't measure really, because it's coming from a place inside of Remy that is the darkest point inside, and all that violence is coming out. And that's what we saw. I mean, look at how this match ended, literally with a chain wrapped around both of them and just them beating the heck out of each other. Like, that is what Remy does. When push comes to shove, Remy will take you corner to corner of a building and make sure you hit every bump on the way there, because that is what Remy does. Remy is intense. I really am liking this new version of Remy we've seen, in the last 6 months or so. Things are coming to a head, and Remy is ready to step to the top of the Rocky Mountain Pro world. I think it's a matter of time at this point, Lucas. I do. And I don't think Remy is done with one Jack McCready, because he has now some answering to do to a lot of people, Lucas, that the prosecutor has been involved with.
Yeah, the prosecutor has been a huge problem for a lot of people for quite a while now. And yeah, we don't have all the answers. Hopefully we're going to get some here tonight on this very show. But talking about Remy really fast, Remy, I think, has found the perfect balance of the beauty and the beast. We were a little concerned, that maybe Remy would be too much of the beauty, too much this showman and too much glitter and glamour. But no, we this was a confirmation from Remy that the beast still lives inside him and that he can let it out when he needs to. He can put it back in when he needs to. Uh, the beauty and the beast can coexist. So now that we have that answer, now that we know that the beauty and the beast can be as one and work cohesive, this makes Remy a very dangerous competitor. And you're right, as far as now, Remy's now ceiling is sky high. Remy can go all the way to the top, and we saw on Charged that he's ready for that next step. He made the challenge to Kevin Koa. Now Kevin Koa still has to answer, but he made his intentions crystal clear. He's going for that Rocky Mountain Pro Championship, and I think he's ready for it.
Should be interesting to see where that goes. We'll sit and wait for Kevin Koa's response, if he even does have a response. But I think we've been waiting for a while to see Remy D hit that ceiling here at RMP. Especially the way that his last opportunity ended. I think we all remember that one.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. We got a couple more matches to talk about here on Supercharged, and then we'll get into to a very curious interview with Jack McCready. I want to see where his head's at after Supercharged. We have the tag team championship match between Chopper City and the most funnest tag team. And I gotta say, this match was very entertaining to watch. And it just makes sense with the most funnest tag team for any match that they're in to be highly entertaining.
Yeah, got to agree. This thing started out with bubbles and chopping, and from there it was just
Slapping.
full throttle. What?
Slapping too.
Oh, slapping. We saw.
There was some slapping.
Listen,
Yeah.
I give props, all the props to anybody that will stand in there and get slapped by Marty Casaus, because he probably would have put my head into the fourth row.
He was just on power slap.
It would have come off my shoulders. That is crazy. I mean, there's chopping and then there's power slapping. And I don't know which one of those is more mightier. I mean, we found out on this particular show that chopping is what did it. But Chopper City did not have the world's most funnest time in this match. At one point I was watching, I kind of looked at Brucey, kind of looked at the team like, what have we got ourselves into? That is what it looked like he was saying. Because don't forget, before they even won the belts, they said they were going to give them the first shot. And it almost cost them, because I really thought that Yaden and Marty were going to walk out of there with the tag team titles again. And as Lucas said, this would have been Yaden, his third different tag team partner he's won the belts with. So, that would have been incredible. I don't think Marty and Yaden are done by any means. I really think, Lucas, that they are going to make a big run at this. I think the team that they need to take down, though, to get back to Chopper City is Pretty City Express. And that is a match I love to watch.
Yeah, that would be great. But yeah, this was a statement win by Chopper City because, we haven't seen a lot of Marty Casaus and Mercury Yaden teaming with one another. They haven't been a team for very long. We know that they get along quite well. They've got a lot in common. They do their morning mid-card show here on Twitch, and that's a fun time, and we know that. But there's not a lot of tape on them teaming together. We didn't know exactly how they were going to work together. They've been a great team when they've had a few opportunities on our shows, on Charged and even Ignition. But I would say, though, that now I think Chopper City has shown that they can overcome certain things. They had to overcome a little bit the crowd was still solidly behind Choppa City, but I would say that, they weren't the overwhelming fan favorites that they usually are. Usually they're in a match and it's 100% Choppa City. The crowd was a little bit split. I think the crowd loves the energy that Most Funnest Tag Team bring. They got Trina out there, with the bubble gun, and so they're having a good old time. I would like to see this team some more. I'm hoping that Most Funnest Tag Team keep teaming so that we can see more of this. This maybe turns into a little bit of a friendly rivalry. I'm kind of hoping for that. You talked about, that maybe they need to go through Pretty City Express. I would say that there are some other tag teams right now that we've seen that are capable of being that number one contender. We've seen the your new starting lineup. They could be one that's going to be a very difficult out for anybody that's going in on the tag team division.
The Reckless.
There's the Reckless, and there's going to be some more surprises happening with potential tag teams. So make sure you keep watching Charge, because this tag team division is going to get real competitive.
The reason I said Pretty City Express is that they're a lot like Choppa City in the fact that they're both bigger guys. You look at the Reckless. I'm sorry, you put the Reckless up against the Most Funnest Tag Team, and one of those guys is going to be stuck in there with Marty or Yaden or both of them at one point, and it's just going to empty the tank. I just think you get two guys the size of Marty and Yaden together, and it's really hard to isolate. We even saw Chopper City have a hard time isolating one of them.
All right. Ready for the main event, boys?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Rocky Mountain Pro Championship up for grabs. We had Kevin Koa, your reigning champion, going up against Hunter Gray for that title.
Lucas, you had the front row seat. You start.
I did. Yeah, this was the match, man. I was salivating over. I love, we've said it for years, and I don't know if we maybe should come up with a new term, but this was a hoss fight. It definitely was.
We do need a new term.
No, we need a new term.
Yeah, we need a new term.
Yeah. Well, but this was a battle of the beasts. This was a kaiju battle, whatever you want to call it. But this was what I expected. I expected two big old bulls going at it. Kevin Koa was actually, as from a strength advantage, he was outgunned by Hunter Gray in this matchup. He's not stronger than Hunter Gray. I don't know if there is anybody in Rocky Mountain Pro that's stronger than Hunter Gray. That power, that unorthodox style that he uses, was catching Kevin Koa by surprise at times. It looked like, from my standpoint, when I was calling the match, it looked like Kevin Koa at times was trying to figure out exactly how to counter what Hunter Gray was bringing. But in the end, I will tell you, Kevin Koa, this match was a defining match for him, because I think a lot of people, when he won the title against Damon Ace, I think a lot of people were kind of thinking it was a little flukish, maybe because he got help from the law office. Obviously, Tortured Souls came out. He didn't have the Tortured Souls out there. He told them to go in the back. No one came to his aid to help. He stood toe-to-toe with Hunter Gray, and at the end, he came out the crystal clear victor in this matchup. There was no doubt in the mind. It wasn't there was no cheating. He just outgunned Hunter Gray in the end. He killed him with that KOA, the killed on arrival, got him with it 2 times, and it took out Hunter Gray. So I think now Kevin Koa, I think he sent a clear message to Rocky Mountain Pro management, sent a clear message to all the rascals out there that I am a legitimate champion. I deserve to be the Rocky Mountain Pro champion. This match on Supercharged, I think solidified that. I think now there's no question that Kevin Koa is a deserving champion.
No, I 100% agree with you. And what didn't surprise me, but what really made me look at Kevin Koa differently. We called this a Haas fight. Well, it kind of is and it kind of isn't. I mean, if you look at Koa, yeah, he's a big dude. But, I mean, we're used to seeing big dudes like Hunter Gray and another guy his size in there, like back in the days when it was him and Mars or him and Dozer. You know, like this was a little different and it made me watch Kevin Koa a little different. And you made an interesting point there. You said that it looked like Koa was trying to figure out how to counter things. That's what Kevin Koa does that separates him from another power guy. Is Kevin Koa will sit there, he's going to pick apart what you're doing, and he's going to find an opening. We all love Hunter Gray to death, but he kind of is that guy that'll just run through brick wall after brick wall after brick wall after brick wall. Like, there's nothing, I don't want to say logical. There's nothing really mathematical about how he's coming at you. It's, I hit you very hard many times. With Koa, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to hit you in the legs and take your legs out so you can't do this, then you can't do that. And it's just a different kind of viciousness. It's not really Damon's psychotic genius level of things, but I think he can get there. I think Koa doesn't say a whole lot. Damon will tell you exactly what he's going to do to you. And I think it's almost as scary, Lucas, for Koa that you don't know what he's going to do to you. And have we really even seen what he's capable of? Like, it's crazy.
No. No, I don't think we have. I think we're only scratching the surface of what Kevin Koa is capable of.
Yeah.
And that could be a scary proposition for anybody that's going after that title, including Remy, who seems to have his sights set. So yeah, I think that this was kind of a match that solidified Kevin Koa as a legit Rocky Mountain Pro champion. I don't think there is any more asterisks. If there was an asterisk, after his win against Damon Ace, I think that asterisk has went away now. This match kind of solidified that.
I gotta wonder what his standing is with the Tortured Souls, though. They did not look too happy in the beginning to be told to go away, especially Bravo.
Yeah. Well,
this could have been the reason.
Yeah, and he proved that he didn't need him.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this could have been the reason, and I think we blame the law office because God only knows what would happen with Kevin during that match, whether or not he still would have won that match or not. Regardless of all that, I think you guys brought up some valid points in terms of you have a guy who's pretty well off as is going up against a guy that's much bigger and stronger than he is, and you're able to see a guy like Kevin Koa adapt to his surroundings and adapt to his opponent so quickly too. I mean, I'm sure there was only a little bit of film study, but I think he only knew this match like a week or two in advance, so that still really isn't enough time to really kind of dissect who you're going up against. So, I mean, kudos to Kevin for really figuring it out against Hunter Gray and being able to adapt on the fly. So, and again, Damon does that so well to a point because he's typically one of the biggest guys around. But with Damon, he would have had to adapt to the smaller, more agile guys who he knows that he can't compete against. So he also had to adapt to those type of guys. Kevin Koa seems like the guy that can literally do the same thing with just about anybody, whether he's bigger than the opponent or smaller than the opponent. It's looking like he's finding a way to adapt mid-match. And that again, to your point, is very scary about Kevin Koa, the ability to be able to do that. So I believe it. That was definitely that win definitely solidified his standing as your face that runs the place, I guess you could say, at RMP right now. And Hunter Gray still without a singles title in his career at Rocky Mountain Pro. Do we think that's going to change?
I think eventually it will. I do. I think he's too physically dominant of a guy not to get something. It's eventually going to all come together for him. I just feel that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too much of I've got a soft spot in my heart for Hunter Gray. Maybe because I've always
You follow his
dug,
career basically from
yeah
day one.
yeah me and him. So a quick little story. He made his debut in Rocky Mountain Pro before as kind of the bodyguard, the muscle of Danger Dean. The same time I made my Rocky Mountain Pro debut as a commentator. We debuted on the same episode. He started the same time as I did, so I think there's always been that little connection with me and Hunter Gray, and so yeah, that's probably a little bit. I followed his career very closely because of that.
Goes, what do you think? Or I should say,
There's enough
what's holding
time
him back?
Well, if there's enough time left, I think that's his biggest enemy right now. Is we know that Hunter's not a spring chicken anymore, even if he does like to eat all the spring chickens. Um, he's getting older, man, and when you're a big guy, stuff breaks down quicker. I don't know if people realize this. Like when you're a big dude, you're putting all extra stress on your joints just walking around. And everything has a shelf life. And I wish Hunter many, many more. I hope he gets the title. I really do. I'm just wondering at this point, is Father Time catching up?
Do you see what kind of physical shape he's in? Do you
I
see what kind of
understand
condition
that.
So I'm not too worried about his body.
Because
I'm more worried about
six
his head.
pack abs, if you got six pack abs, but you got two knees held together with bubble gum and duct tape,
I'm telling you, he's in great physical shape. I mean, yes, because of the ring, just the the all the stuff, the dangers in the ring. Yeah, anybody is susceptible to that. Obviously,
he's out hunting bear with his bare hands.
yeah, yes. So I ain't too worried about it. I think he'll be doing this for still quite a long time.
I mean, we've seen most of his matches since he's been back. For most of his matches, he dominates at least 60 to 70% of his matches. And it's always that one fatal mistake that gets Hunter every time. If he can just eliminate that, I think you
Kind of
will see
Wile E.
him.
Coyotes himself.
Yeah, kind of in a way. Like he's so dominant throughout the course of the match, and then there's just one slip up. One slip up, and he gets behind and ends up losing. So if he can clean that up, I see him being a multiple time champion before he's all said and done here.
Yeah,
because that's really it. Just makes that one fatal mistake. That's it. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up Supercharged, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll be back on Charge. I think we're at what 473, I believe, or 472.
sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just finished 473, I believe.
All right, so we'll be catching up on that latest edition of Charge starting next week. Final thoughts on Supercharged before we start getting ourselves ready for what could be a very interesting interview.
It's one of those events where there's a lot of ways it can go after this. We're kind of in a spider web. It's like, okay, what is this whole 2 Dame thing going to do? Is he going to, as we saw with the Easter egg, like, is he going to throw his own flavor into things that D'Lo tells him to do? Which I'm all for. We'll see what happens. Tag team division, again, still the most competitive division, I think, in the whole company. You got the teams like Chop City, the most funnest tag team ever. The Rascals, I mean, we went through them. That is going to be big. Those titles are going to be defended a lot. I have a feeling there's a lot of teams knocking on Chopper City's door. And Kevin Koa, I guess your next competitor is Remy D, and what a collision that's going to be.
We don't know for sure. We'll find out this week, probably.
I don't think Kevin Koa turns down challenges. I just don't think he's that guy.
Well, especially after how Shocktober ended, I think he's just going to want to prove himself every single time now. So,
yeah, I gotta grab a drink.
So, really quick, I want to we didn't really get a chance to talk about Dylan Anderson as the Ignition champion. Now,
yes.
Dylan Anderson is now going to be holding that title, that show. He's going to be the guy. That's going to be interesting because 2Dame obviously still going to be a big part of that show. I'm interested to see how dominant of a champion Dylan Anderson can be. That in that title, usually get a lot of younger talent going after that title. Dylan Anderson could be a very dominant champion. It's potentially. We'll see, especially with the law office. That could be very interesting. Also, kind of, I still want to see what the next play for Preston and Lola is. This whole disputed champion thing.
Oh, you know what the
that's
play is going to be. You know exactly what the play is going to be.
well, is it going to work out for him? And will that turn into another title shot? And is everyone else just going to sit idly by and let it happen? I thought it's going to be interesting. The Lockheads division is also starting to kind of get a little jumbled as well. So it's going to be interesting.
I'm more curious to see how this whole law office and Casanova and Damon Ace and
you're not gonna say the word, right? You're not gonna say the W word.
No,
Really should see how that all pans out.
Because I would absolutely hate if these guys got back together, so I will not say the word. Like I said, there's still history there. I don't need that.
Would you hate it if they got rid of the law office?
I mean, I would hate it regardless.
They're making the world a better place.
I believe that when I see it.
Yeah, you're going to kind of make us choose the lesser of two evils if that happens.
I'm sticking to my guns. I am sticking to my guns. I would prefer the law office to stay together over the Wake.
Wow.
That's how much I
How dare
disdain.
you, sir.
That's how much. That's how much I disdain the Wake.
I can't blame you. They left a bad taste in my mouth, and I've kind of made that feeling clear too, that I wouldn't like to see it happen. I don't want to see it happen, but I still don't think it's going to happen. We'll just put it that way. I don't think it's going to happen.
I'm going to wish it into fruition. I think it has to happen.
Tom.
I think it has to happen.
Why don't you?
Nothing
Why don't you stay up till 11:11 tonight? Maybe your wish will come true on Wednesday or next Wednesday or any other Wednesday.
Because I got a feeling. I think. I don't know. I can't jinx it. I'm just saying. I know they may not all get along, but when you have a greater good,
the day the Wake forms up is the day that this show retires.
Whoa.
I will miss you guys.
All right.
You really hate him.
I have my reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry, you can't blame me.
Yeah. I don't think you hate the wrestlers of the Wake. You just hate the Wake as the idea of the Wake.
I stayed face last week, or the week before.
No, I
did my job.
I get why you can't stand them. Like, you can't stand what they did and what they did almost ruin this company, Coastal. You do realize that, right?
And they did almost ruin this show, literally. Yeah. And myself.
I still don't know how Damon got in here. I have no idea, but
that day, dude, no one knows. Now, we have two-step authenticators on our channels now. Like, nobody could get in unless we drag them in. Oh, speaking of drag it in, our guest is ready to go.
I understand, and just to wrap up this whole thing, I understand they may not have gone about things a good way last time. I don't even need them to go about the other things this time. Just get rid of the law office, and then you can all go have fun doing separate things again. Johnny and Caden can be successful. Dustin can continue to work his legacy. Damon can go, I don't know, steal candy from little kids or whatever he does for fun.
I think the power would infect them once again. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. And then after that, I mean, you will be seeing Damon Ace every other week on this show, finding a way to hack the channel and being able to oppose his will as always. Because that's what he does. He finds a way. The Wake finds a way. Gee, doesn't that sound familiar?
It's a way.
The law office, they find a way. Anyways, can somebody drag Jack McCready in here? Because I can't do it. Actually, I might be able to. Never mind. Never mind.
I got you.
You guys got it.
You wouldn't believe the crazy things I know how to do with Discord. What?
You're not. You're not. Were
You know what?
Were you the one that day?
I do not know what you're talking about. I did not let
You
David in.
were
Why
you the
would I
one
ever
that
do-
day? No. Were you the
Why
one
would I
that
ever
day?
do that?
I think you just outed yourself.
I think you just outed yourself, sir. After 4 years. It's been roughly
I
4
did not
years.
let David in.
What? We'll come back to this story another day.
I was
we've
on
got
the
a
show with
very
you.
special-
No, we'll touch back on this, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll revisit this. Yes.
We got some more important matters to talk about. Need to keep hearing about the wake.
Whenever he's ready to get on.
Well, you guys won't have to worry about hearing about it because, as you've said many times, it's not going to happen.
Yes. We have faith. Although the
You just
end
have
of
to hear
charge.
me
The end of
wish
charge
every
last
day.
week definitely kind of irked me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Never say never.
That little interaction there.
It was interesting, wasn't it?
I don't got a very good feeling after that one. Hopefully, it's just a quinky dink. All right. Our guest is on with us. We're just waiting for him to
Yeah.
unmute. Excuse me, sir.
You there?
Hello. Yeah, Lucas, you might.
Paging the prosecutor. Attention, prosecutor.
I'm gonna see if I can reach out here.
I wish I had some music.
Yeah, you need some efforting music.
Yes. I will. I'm gonna make sure I'm prepared for that next time. He's in the Discord. All right. Before we, I guess, talk with Mr. Jack McCready, let's at least do some RMP stuff.
Hold on. It said something about access is denied for Jack.
How's his access tonight when he's literally in here?
Yeah, he's in here.
Jack McCready. Oh, he said my microphone. Something about his mic's not.
Oh,
allowing
that's
it
right.
to-
He actually has a setup. He's got to go in the settings. He's got to go into settings, voice, video, I think, and you should be able to set it up there.
Yeah, let me see if I can walk him through it here.
Thank you for calling Rocky Mountain Tech Support. This is Lucas.
But
Speaking of no Thanksgiving that is coming up very shortly, no Thanksgiving is going to be aired on December 4th. I believe same times as always. I think 6 p.m. pre-show, 7 p.m. The main card goes live. I think the theme is No Man's Land, right? If I'm not mistaken, Lucas.
No Man's Land. Yes. Don't have any kind of
There's no
particulars
matches.
on
Yeah.
what No Man's Land is. Don't have any particulars of yet, but I have a pretty good idea that we are going to find out a lot this Wednesday on Charge. So it'll be a can't miss episode. I'm telling you guys, can't miss.
If Lucas is saying it, it must be true.
It's true. One journalist.
All right. So actually, I'm sorry. It says it starts at 6 p.m. your guys' time. Is that the pre-show start?
The pay-per-view. We've been doing 6 o'clock start times because we also do have been doing a taping of a Charged episode
Oh,
afterwards.
okay.
So I think
Okay.
6 o'clock is the right time. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 6 p.m. is the start of No Thanks Given. With a pre-show, I'm assuming at 5. And he just left.
Oh,
Maybe he made an adjustment and had to restart.
Yeah, it looks like he.
I did say no Thanksgiving. I have to slow my voice down every time I freaking say it. I know it's been about 3 years. I understand. It's
No Thanksgiving.
Okay, if you want me to go down this route, no space. Thanks space.
We did this once.
Giving.
You're
Give
you're
in.
saying ing. It's give in.
Give in. You're
Give
saying
in.
giving. Give
Yeah,
in.
you're saying giving.
Am I saying
give in.
giving? It's an
Yes.
accent thing, dude. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to tell you, dude. It just makes sense. No space. Thanks space. Given.
There you
There
go.
you
Nah.
go.
Yeah, there. That's there. Yep, you got it.
God damn it. No pre-show. Okay. Just main card. All right. No thanks given. Nah. Starts at 6
Right.
p.m.
No
Mountain
pre-show.
Now time, which is 8
Oh,
p.m.
so
over
he-
on the East Coast. What?
Just so you know, so he had to change. He made another Discord profile, so that one that's in the waiting list is him. We have to add him.
So drag him in.
Oh, the one on the waiting list.
Yes.
Yeah, the one. Yeah,
So pull him in.
yeah. You can pull him in. That's him. All right. So he should be good. It looks.
I apologize. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know what was going on. It denied my microphone. I tell you, I don't even get respect from this damn application.
So
All right. Okay, I think I got everything else set here. Oh, okay. All right, so there's 2 accounts. All right, well, we'll deal with that later. All right. Welcome. How you doing?
A little frustrated, but we'll keep moving on. How are you guys?
Not too bad.
Not bad.
You gonna have a cam, or are we just gonna hear your voice tonight? There he is.
there he is.
There he is.
All right. Now, flip it to landscape. If it works.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep, got it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack McCready, R&B superstar. As he's getting himself settled over there. All right. As always, folks, we're going to be doing a few rounds of questions, and then, of course, we are going to be paying attention to chat for questions. If we see a question that pertains to topics or anything about Jack McCready himself, we are going to ask your questions as well to him, and hopefully we get through most of the questions that you guys say. And yes, Yaden, I know MDT. Well, it's Mountain Now time because I'm not choosing between the D and S, so it's Mountain Now time over here. We've established this like a year and a half ago.
Mountain Now time.
Mountain Now time. All right, boys, fire away. And I'm sure we already know the first couple questions on this topic.
You know, Coastal, you behaved yourself so well the last 2 interviews. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the benefit of a doubt, and I'm going to let you start this interview off.
Okay. Hey, Jack, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We did see at the end of a match at SuperCharged, you were revealed as the person that was the prosecutor. I guess my question is, why? Where did that come from?
I mean, why not? I hate to throw it back at you, but why not? You know, I think we all saw what happened when the previous owner had possession of that mask. You know, somebody didn't keep a hold of that thing, and I figured, why not cause a little chaos, cause a little havoc, make a name for myself when the time's right. It just happened to be targets kind of change a little bit, keep myself make it a little not so obvious, but unfortunately Remy decided to, he had to be the one to he maybe had been the main target all along, maybe it wasn't, who knows, but you know I it's you find something like that where you can really just do whatever you want, and it's a great feeling, really. Just hide under that mask and just punch anybody you want. You're not going to get suspended. You just keep on doing what you do and just keep on causing chaos.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I can't say anything against that answer. It gives you two opportunities and a way to get yourself using the prosecutor as a way to advance Jack McCready. So it makes all the sense in the world to me. I don't like it, but it does.
I guess my question would be a follow up is, okay, has this been a long-term thing? Is this something you just recently started doing? How long has this been going on? And now that the cat's out of the bag, what is now next for you? Is the prosecutor just a done thing, or are you going to try to somehow utilize it?
I mean, at the end of the day, the prosecutor is more tied to Preston, really. I think the question you got to ask yourself is, do you trust Preston, and do you trust who, may or may not actually, sign a contract with him to do whatever it is that he does under the table, I guess. But as for me and the prosecutor, I'm done with that personally. I got what I needed out of it, and I think the main thing really is, and I think Remy will tell you too. A couple of weeks ago, I was still just, hey, rookie to him. We battled each other for about 15 minutes, slapping each other across that arena. And, I maybe had to suffer a little bit for it, but at the end of the day, I caused some damage to him, and now he's realizing, oh, hey, Jack McCready is now a name that I need to keep on the tip of my tongue, because this guy's got something to watch for, So that's really the main goal, is that now I got some credibility. Hey, guys, like, I'm just as dangerous as everybody else. So take me seriously. Let's go.
You mentioned Preston during that last answer. Do you have any thoughts about possibly aligning with Preston on more of a full-time basis? Is that what you were trying to almost kind of try out for, being the prosecutor?
I mean, I kind of skirt the morals a little bit, but do I really want to hang out with Eric Reyes on the regular? Do you guys want to hang out with Eric Reyes on the regular?
Absolutely not.
I mean, Eric does have a new do somewhat.
Yeah. It looks better, I guess. I mean, yeah.
He's not so much like a champ pet no more.
He's still ugly.
Yeah, he's still ugly. He's still stupid.
So you talk about not wanting to hang out with Reyes or Preston, those guys. I mean, what is next for Jack McCready now that we know, you dabbled in the prosecutor to, try and show people that you're tougher than first glance. And I completely agree, watching you in the ring. Like, I wouldn't want to get hit by you, but so what's next? Like, are we looking at, do you have anything in your mind that's made up? I want to go here. I want to try to get this title, or is it just chaos and see where the twisted road leads?
I mean, you never can tell. It is the wrestling business, though. I don't know exactly where things could take me, but I think the higher ups now see Jack McCready as somebody that, hey, maybe we need to throw him, start getting him in the mix here. I don't know. I'm kind of looking around the landscape, and it seems like everybody's in a group. I'm not exactly filling out any applications anytime soon, but I see a lot of singles titles that are changing hands. So, maybe it's my night I've dabbled in, I've faced Caden Koyama, I've faced Dustin. I'll do it again. I don't skirt from a fight. I mean, I might end up, on my back more often than not, but I'm not skirting from a fight. So, why not? I've challenged Damon Ace, so let's maybe when Remy's done, I'll take Kevin Koa. Why not?
You still owe Marcio some chair shots, so I remember that. So
Oh, he's getting his share shots when he's not expecting it.
So I've got to kind of address something that unfortunately is
You were
kind
gonna
of been
take my question. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, I don't know. You don't know exactly what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna ask about your. Let's face it. I'm gonna just say it. Your losing streak.
Yep.
You do not have a singles victory yet in Rocky Mountain Pro. How do you get off the schneid? What do you feel you personally have to do to finally get that signature win? Have you just said you named off these names of these huge names that you've challenged, Caden Koyama and Damon Ace and Dustin Yerrick. Have you maybe been shooting a little too high to start your career, and maybe you need to kind of keep it a little more balanced and get that first victory first? What are your feelings on what you got to do?
I mean, yeah, it is a little bit of a losing streak. It's more zeros, on the other side than I'd appreciate, but all it takes is one to start a streak going the opposite direction. And maybe I did start a little too tall, going for the the tippity top. You come out of the academy, you're kind of bumping in elbows with a couple of these guys, and maybe your head gets a little too big, thinking all I gotta do is get 3 seconds, right? And then dud, DOA, you know, it happens. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm learning. I'm learning. So I hate to give him credit because I think he's an idiot too, and kind of a chia pet to a degree too. But Isaiah has said it a couple of times with you, Lucas, and I kind of agree with it. I'm right there. I'm 9/10 of the way there, and it's something stupid. I take my eye off the ball, and boom, I get hit with the big one. So it's just I'm new. I'm trying to figure this all out. It's just let me get my feet wet a little bit more, and then maybe I hit my move on somebody, and you're down for the three. So I don't know. Maybe it's just growing pains.
All right, let's kick it back a little bit here. Jack, how did you first get started? Or I should say, what got you started in professional wrestling?
I there's I think what 2 episodes you may have seen me as a referee. I know
Yeah.
old Maki would have agreed, but I started going that route. But there was that's always been that itch of what could I do in that ring? Could I be one of those guys to make a name for myself? 'Cause that's what it all is. You don't get into something like this to just be a weekend warrior. If you do, like, I don't know, I don't want to hang out with you, I guess, but like, you do your thing. I'm here to be a conversation piece. I'm here to be one of the guys on the Mount Rushmore of RMP. And maybe that's kind of my other problem. I don't come from a mixed martial arts background. I don't have, a third degree, purple belt or whatever, participation Brazilian jiu-jitsu medallion like some idiots in the law office might have.
Yeah.
But it's I'm not prone. I'm not saying I'm not never been in a fight before. It's just different applications. So it's at the end of the day, I've always just wanted to be a wrestler. I grew up on it. Figured why not? Why not me? Throw my hat in there. That's kind of my motto. Just throw your hat in there, see what happens. Never know.
All right, we do have a somewhat of a question here in chat. Hunter Dillon goes, I mean, you got what you wanted out of it pertaining to the prosecutor, but at what cost is the big question. You lost trust with the Rascals. Do you care about the fans? Or the Rascals, I should say?
I mean, when did I ever have the Rascals' trust to begin with? And, does me gaining trust somehow make me win more? That sounds like a kind of a something I don't really need to worry about, really. Sorry, I'm not sorry, Hunter.
All right, I think that's the only one so far in chat that I've seen. Go ahead, boys.
I mean, with so much, you mentioned earlier, you're not exactly filling out applications to join any of these particular factions, be it the Law Office or the Tortured Souls or anything else. But you kind of can't discount the fact that, as you've done already, you get your hands a little dirty and work with people you wouldn't particularly work with. I mean, you had to understand with Preston, like, that's a way to get what you want. I mean, is there any chance that there's something like that if the losing streak continues? Do you go a different route and maybe try and, like you say, jumpstart with a win? Maybe take some nefarious means? I mean, it's not out of the question.
I mean, I guess the other question is, over these months with me being the prosecutor, was I always by myself, Coastal?
There's another, yeah, I had that, and I was gonna say, is it just you? I mean, I know you're not gonna spill the rice here, but it's like, have other people? Did you get this idea from somewhere else? Like, is it like, oh, hey, try this? Like,
I mean, I'm not gonna out my sources. I'm not gonna snitch on anybody. If they, let's just say that, let's just
respectful.
say that, I probably couldn't have done it myself. It's a tall ask for a new guy to kind of do what I did for so long, but it's, I don't know. I'm not getting particular beat down by, any groups or anything. So it's not like, I don't know, there's not really a necessity per se, but I don't know. I guess if there's an offer that somebody's, requiring my services or, looking for some upstart that's got some nice aggressive streak that they want to, you know, aim in the right direction per se, or, like, I guess that's maybe that's all I need is maybe that one person, that mentor that can, channel all this aggression. Maybe that's all I need. Maybe rather than 4, 5, 6 guys. I don't know.
You just need someone maybe to help you make your own luck. If you're not getting it, that you make opportunities happen, right?
I mean, that's kind of what I did, wasn't it? Unfortunately, it wasn't
Exactly.
Jack doing it.
Okay.
Well, so I'm going to go back to Shocktober, the pre-show. You were in a Monster Mash Rumble match, which first time ever that we've had a match like that, and you were helped out by what we thought was a prosecutor. There was a guy dressed as the prosecutor that came out during your match when you were yourself. So obviously, you've got some partnership with someone, and you advanced to the finals of that particular matchup, and you ended up losing that match to one Remy D, who and I'm wondering, did your issue with Remy D stem from that match, and did all this kind of start coming into a clearer picture during Shocktober? Was this planned before? What? I'm everything points back to that particular moment and your connection with the prosecutor.
It actually goes back a little bit further. I'm a pretty spiteful person, Lucas. It actually came back from Bierstadt, June 6th. It was actually my debut on Charged. First match against Remy D. Let's just say that one, not so much of a real back and forth David and Goliath battle. Really, it was just kind of one-sided. Really just real humbling experience, I guess. Not the way you want to debut. You lose, and it happens. You kind of move on, but there was something about it that just didn't quite sit right with me. I don't know. So I kind of, just sat back thinking, what could I do? What could I really do? He's got himself also aligned with D'Lo Brown. Am I going to go up against Remy D and D'Lo Brown as a rookie? No, that's pretty stupid. So, bide my time a little bit. And that's, unfortunately, that's that match, that monster match happened, and he got yet again one more opportunity on me. And yeah. Luckily by then, I'd already had a couple of weeks of, showing Remy D, like the prosecutor mask and everything, I can still, maybe not necessarily have a match on Charge with him again, but I can mess up his match on Charged. I can mess up his match on Ignition. I can mess up his pre-show match. But finally, we got each other in that pay-per-view, the Aftershock. And I think I finally proved that, I got my shots into him. I took him, wrapped that chain around his waist, flung him around like a flail. So it's not like he was just dominating me the entire match either. So I think that's at the end of the day, I think I got what I wanted. Maybe I would have liked to walk away with the victory, but I got a moral victory out of that because now, people are paying attention to Jack McCready rather than the rookie. And I think it's, I hate to say it, but even those idiots cease and desist don't exactly like being called the rookies either. So maybe people should just stop, sowing their own seeds of chaos,
Well, here's something.
Ronnie, you see, you go ahead and read that comment.
Yeah, I was just waiting for him to be done. Preston Skidmore subscribing at tier 1 for 36 months. Preston, the lawyer himself, says Jack McCready has great potential. People are going to see it soon enough. Does he know something that we don't?
Generally does, doesn't he?
Could be valid.
That's only because he's sowing those seeds that you talk about.
It's possible.
I'm just saying. Preston's tentacles reach far and wide.
Preston says no comment, so as of right now, we just leave it the way it is. I know, Lucas, you're trying to stir the pot, as you and Coastal typically do on this show when it comes to the law office, but as of right now, there's nothing here.
Well, he said tentacles, and I didn't know snakes had tentacles.
I mean, they both slither.
Yeah, he's like the Hydra. He's like the Hydra thing.
Oh, where you're like, if you cut off one head, like 3 more grow back.
Yeah.
Maybe that we've been dealing with Preston wrong the whole time.
So, all right, let's go back a little bit more. You kind of talked about why you got into wrestling. Who do you look up to at Rocky Mountain Pro? Who is your mentor there? Who is the one guy that you go to whenever you have issues or you have questions about a certain something?
I kind of have two answers for that one. There's I think on a lot of people's, and it's why he's the champion that he is. Caden Koyama, easy, hands down. That's my guy. I may be going about things maybe a bit differently he does, and but at the end of the day, that's the kind of wrestler that I want to be, the kind of hopefully champion that I want to be one day. That's that right there. He's the epitome of Rocky Mountain Pro. That dude bleeds purple. Another one is not so much a teacher, but I'd say a healthy rival is Briscoe Crown. I think Lucas can attest for that. I probably wrestled that man probably 36 times in my career. I've learned a lot from that dude. He's another one of those guys. Just learn by trial of fire for that one, less so than actual coaching. But that's another guy that I look up to, and I think him and Jason Knoll, I think that's a tag team to look forward to, because I think they're gonna turn some heads.
We actually just
Talking
talked
about
about
people
him
that-
briefly, yeah.
Talking about people that don't get their comeuppance, or not their comeuppance, their flowers. Sorry, other way.
They got a shot. They've been rolling as of late, so they got a chance to make some noise. Nothing in chat again besides what Preston said, so back on the rotation.
So this is going to be a little bit of a weird question, Jack, but what do you hope people think of when they hear they have to step in the ring with the Jack McCready? Like, what thought do you want them to have? We all want that. Oh, I can't get in there. Oh, but like, what should they be thinking when they step in the ring with you?
I mean, I think we can call it like it is. I'm not a 6'4" giant like a Damon Ace. I'm not a near 300 pounder like a Hunter. So I'm not the big imposing force, or somebody's just looking to, how am I going to chop this tree down, right? But I think I've proved with everybody, even the Dustins, the Justin, the Jason Knowles. I can hang with the big guys. I can lift them. I can lift a big guy up too. There's a little bit more power than you would expect from this guy, and I think that's really the thing that I want people to realize is there's a lot more to Jack McCready than what meets the eye. So, I mean, I hope people are coming out of that match with maybe a dislocated jaw, like, this was not as easy as I hoped it was gonna be. So at the end of the day, I that's what I think people should be recognizing is, this ain't gonna be easy. You may get the W. A lot of people have gotten the W, but you're gonna earn it. I'm not gonna make it easy.
I will say, I got to take a little bit of a victory lap. I have been one that has called out your work ethic, especially in strength and conditioning. It's been an obvious transformation of you since you first started. You put on muscle. You've really been putting in the work. I think you're probably the first one in, the last one out in the gym at the strength and conditioning. So what is the major motivation? Obviously, you want to be the best, but is there anything else? Is there anything about your past, maybe growing up in Ohio, anything that kind of led you to this real dedication to kind of working on your strength and conditioning and hitting the gym?
I mean, nothing too specific in that regard. I mean, it's just what kind of an opportunity you got here at Rocky Mountain Pro? I mean, look at it. You've got D'Lo Brown is one of the enforcers. The you know, this is the land of opportunity. Like, if you want to make your name for yourself, people are coming to RMP. I'm not going over to, you know, I don't want to call out promotions, but people aren't traveling elsewhere to wrestle. People are coming here because we've got multiple weekly TV shows, pay-per-views. If that's really what it boils down to. So I mean, I hate to say it as easy as it is, but like, why half-ass it? Whole-ass the whole thing, So like, hit it as hard as you can.
A very wise quote. Whole ass the whole thing. We need to put that up on a poster.
All right. This was a little stab at you, Lucas, but it actually kind of turns into like a nice little joking question. So Jack McCready is a transformer, you say? Which one?
Oh, come on. I know what he is. Go ahead. You want to say it?
Are you gonna call? Are you asking me, or is it for Lucas?
No, go ahead. It's your question, but I know.
Oof.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
Maybe like maybe somebody like Starscream.
That's what I was gonna pick. Starscream.
All right. And then Yang goes, hit the whole ass hard. McCready 2025. Aiden's got a list of quotes throughout the course of the year.
Hit the whole ass hard.
All right, I'm gonna go back to my normal question that I ask every guest that we have on this show. Who is your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
Oof. Mine's particularly hard because there's one guy that's kind of an asterisk that's taken off most lists.
I'll give you 5. I'll give you 5 because of
that. Chris Jericho, he's always been my biggest. Kurt Angle. It's probably going to sound, unfortunately, he actually has been around for long enough, so I guess it would work. I'm a big fan of Seth Rollins. Ever since, especially the NXT leading up to now, that's a career to really watch. And I think he's just hitting his stride, which is even crazier. So I think that's somebody that's going to really be a legend in the making. But number 4, let's see.
Picked a lot
probably
of guys.
DDP.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the more interesting Mount Rushmores I think we've ever heard. I've always heard of the traditional Hogans and Flairs and Takers and Michaels and Harts and all that stuff. This is probably the most different Mount Rushmore we've heard.
I mean, I was a WCW kid growing up, so I mean that does skew mine.
All right. Oh, there's a question in chat.
Here we go.
There we go. One from Remy D. He goes, "Hey Jack, how do you feel about fucking around and finding out?"
I mean, I didn't exactly see you walking upright either, Remy, so,
Short and sweet.
Very short and sweet. Coastal?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Skip me for a minute, I guess. Lucas, you can go.
I got about 15 minutes left anyway, so.
Yeah. One question I wanted to ask, and this is not really more of your wrestling related, but the first time we got introduced to you, at least the dudes did, and on Twitch was your Shane Falco. Shane Falco was your Twitch name. So how did that come about? What is your fixation with Shane Falco? And I know that you're a big Ohio guy, Ohio State guy. So talk about how all that kind of ties in, and you're kind of growing up with that.
I mean, Shane Falco, right after Johnny Utah, is probably one of the best college football quarterbacks to ever grace Ohio State campus. So it just so happened to be both Keanu Reeves characters, but hey, we're gonna hang on that. But no, that's pretty much where it stems from. Is Keanu Reeves and The Replacements, which is phenomenal movie, probably one of the best football movies that there ever was, and you can quote me on that one. Yeah, it's just been something I've been using for a long time, but I don't think I can use Shane Falco in the ring. I think that one's probably got some, unless Preston's got some legal expertise in this practice, which I still don't know what area of expertise Preston works in, but
No one does.
Bullshitting.
Yeah, that's spot on.
I think he's just flipping through cards. It's just which one works for this week.
Remy goes, I walked out, you clown shoe, cope. Or clown shoe.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Then cope.
He's not wrong. It's a definitive fact. The last man standing. He was the last man standing. But I'm not just saying. I bet you weren't feeling too high and mighty walking or stumbling back to the locker room. I definitely saw you icing up real good, but congrats on the win, brother.
Coastal, do you have anything?
No, I really don't, John.
All right. Lucas, are you all set?
Yeah, I think I've asked what I wanted to ask. I think I got most of my answers.
All right. I guess the only thing I have to say. Oh, never mind. Hold up. I'll ask that question after this. If you could write a letter to a younger Jack McCready, what would it say? This is coming from Hunter.
Easy. Start earlier. I would have definitely started pro wrestling earlier. That's pretty much the easiest answer in the world.
All right. Simple enough right there. I guess my last question of this interview is what's next for Jack McCready? What are your goals? What do you plan on doing for the rest of 2025 going into 2026?
I mean, same thing as before. Like I said, it's I think unfortunately Remy's got first shot at Kevin, so now it's probably a little bit above me for right now. But I think anybody with a title, maybe I get myself one more buddy. We go after some tag titles. I do like, I think Bruce and stupid bald head needs to be slapped upside a couple times. So maybe I go after the tag titles. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of belts. There's a lot of people I still haven't faced though too. So at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Paychecks and championships. So it's getting that first win, get the momentum going. That's really what all my focus is on.
All right. Well, we definitely see a vast improvement. We talk about you whenever you are on charge or ignition week in and week out, and we definitely see the amount of work that you have been putting in and how improved you've been since your first start on your debut of Charge against Remy D. And here on out, we definitely see potential in you for sure. So keep up the good work, and eventually you will get that win. I'm very confident you'll get that win sooner rather than later, especially after what we saw on SuperCharged.
I mean, it's only a matter of time. I one little mistake away every time. Unfortunately, it really sits in the back of your head. So it don't get me wrong. It's something I think about every goddamn day. So it's a matter of time.
I have faith. You'll do it. Fully confident. All right. Other than that, if we don't have any questions in chat, which I don't see, and I know that the guys over here don't have any, I think we've run out of all the prosecutor questions and the couple law office questions that was brought up, which, again, there's no comment.
The dude's rest.
So there's no comment on that. So we're just going to have to wait and see where Jack McCready goes the rest of 2025 into 2026. I think 2026 will be the year of McCready. At least that's what it's shaping out to be.
It does have that's got a nice ring to it.
Does it?
The year of McCready.
The year of McCready.
Hit the whole ass hard.
Like it. Put it on your Chinese calendar, the year of McCready.
All right.
I think it's the year of the goat.
All right, Jack, we appreciate you coming on the show. As always, I know you've been wanting to come on this show for a little while now. We're glad we're able to fit you in. And good luck the rest of 2025. And hopefully by 2026, we'll be seeing Jack McCready on the main event on some big pay-per-view event coming up. So.
Hey, good seeing you guys. Good hanging out with you. Unfortunately, wish could have seen all Maki, but I understand it's all good. But good hanging out with you guys.
He'll be back soon enough. All right, Jack. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Jack.
Have a good one, fellas.
Thanks.
All right. Well, he gets booted by eventually Discord. Yeah, that's gonna wrap up the show. What'd you guys think about Jack McCready on the show?
I thought it was a great interview. I learned a lot about Jack. Like I get the losing streak is bothering him, but I just think his whole demeanor about
He's
I'm just gonna
humble.
beat up people who come after me. Like I'm just gonna beat them up. I love it. I really do. Like I know, and he made sense out of. Do I agree with what he did as the prosecutor? No. Did it make sense as to why he did it? Yes, it did.
Yeah, I think we got a better understanding of why you would get frustrated and why you would do things and maybe need to take some drastic measures in order to kind of make a splash. Do I agree with it? No, but this is what some people feel they have to do, and he also kind of made the comment that he wished he would have started a little earlier. He is one of the older newcomers. He's a rookie, but he's started his career kind of late, and he's in his mid-30s, and that's kind of a little bit late. So maybe he feels he had to do something to jumpstart his career. So that's we're gonna be interesting to see now that he's the cat's been let out of the bag. Where does he go from now? That's going to be a kind of a story to follow.
Okay. All right. Other than that, I mean, where did Kosu go? There he is.
What happened?
You could
There we
tell
go.
you could tell that he was a very humble guy as well. I mean, he's taken these losses in stride, and it looks like he's learning from them because he has improved with every match that he wrestles on Charge, especially. So, um, it's good to see. Um, all right, I think that we covered no Thanksgiving.
There you go.
I would have dropped in to say hi sooner, but Lola and I had business to take care of at yet another show tonight. Busy.
Yeah, what is she disputed about now?
It's a valid question. So, all right. RMP Live. Do we have anything coming up?
We do not. It is. We've got a couple weeks off. Thanksgiving's coming up, guys. So we're getting ready for the holidays. So really, the next time that we'll have something big to talk about as far as shows will be no Thanksgiving, and that'll be a big weekend once again. Because then we'll be at the Bierstadt the following night as well. So I got that to look forward to in a couple weeks. So everybody get ready for it.
Are we doing anything special for Thanksgiving this year? I know we have in the past. Like, is there like a special charge or anything like that?
I have not heard. I'm sure though. I'm sure we'll come up with maybe a hidden gem or something that will drop or something. Maybe we can talk to our great production team, come up with something that's in the vault.
Turkey turmoil match.
Yeah, we'll see. Who knows what we got, what we
Well,
have.
I'm
that
not
we
talking
can release.
about like actually making a show. Because I know past years whenever the holidays come around, we end up
we've
doing
had
like
our
a
special, yeah.
like the best of type of episode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't
Well,
know if they were doing that again.
I don't know, but I can tell you there's a lot of matches that we've recorded over the past several months that have not been released. So maybe those will drop in the next few weeks, and that'll be something we can watch.
All right. Other than that, if there's no lives coming up this weekend, other than Charge, which will be premiering this Wednesday and every Wednesday going forward at 7 p.m. Mountain Now time. That's 9 p.m. over on the eastern regions of the country. Over on youtube.com/at RMP Wrestling is where you're going to find every premiere of Charge as it debuts on those times. And like Lucas has been preaching throughout this episode, you are not going to want to miss this next episode.
No.
And Coastal is going to possibly be let down.
Maybe. Could be.
Maybe, but can you imagine if I'm not?
That's why there's a mute button.
I'm excited.
It's unfortunate that Marky's not going to have to deal with anything if this happens.
Yeah, lucky bastard. Oh.
But it's not going to happen, right, guys? You keep telling me it's not going to happen. So I'm not getting my hopes up.
This past episode of Charge scares me. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
The one that happened last Wednesday.
Just saying, maybe. People grow. It can happen. I'm not getting my hopes up. Nope. I'm not going to do it.
Anyways. Ladies and gentlemen, the jury, we will be bidding fair due. Greatly appreciate you guys watching, as always. Actually, we do need a raid, so hold that thought. Hold the thought. Do you guys have anything else to add while I'm looking?
No.
Nah.
Nah.
Who do we got?
Hunter says, if you believe it's gonna happen, I have an island in Alaska I'd like to sell you. There's a whole bunch of islands on that.
Yeah,
Like
there
that little
actually is a
tiny-
lot of islands. And
Yeah,
you,
the Aleutian
you could-
Islands, baby.
yeah, you
Wait. You have an actual island? That's a thing.
No, there's a whole bunch of islands in Alaska though.
You
Like
could
the whole
probably
thing.
buy. I bet you could buy one for like.
Oh,
one of
you
those
could
really
definitely
small-
buy an island. Like you could buy like a small little small island off the coast of Maine up here. Like people have done it.
small little quarter-acre island or something.
Yeah. People have done it. They put summer homes out there and
All right. I think we are going to raid Miss Havoc. I think that's what we're going to do. All right.
let us raid.
Let's raid over to Miss Jessica Havoc. She's just chatting currently at the moment. And while we do that, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we will be back every week, I believe, from now until the end of the year. Peak Awards will be coming up very shortly. We are actually going to be talking about this probably over the course of the next week or two. I actually have to make some conversations with old Mr. Marky Pins about all that stuff so we can get everything squared away for it. The date is still be determined. Actually, you know what? By next episode, since we have a more laid-back episode than the past 4 or 5 that we've had, we will announce the date for the nomination show and the Peak Awards. How about that? Give you a little bit more of a teaser.
It's good to me.
All right. Other than that, folks, we got about 10 seconds left here. For everyone here on the Dudes and Belts, myself, Johnny Deathdrop, Ghost Crusader, and Lucas Bradwell, we will see you guys again next week for another episode of Recharge.